us a harsh yet liberating truth. What you resist not only persists but grows in size. When you grip life with a clenched fist, the universe can't answer. It only responds to surrender. In this video, we'll uncover why your endless striving might be blocking your destiny and how stillness can unlock the magic of alignment. Through Jung's wisdom, we'll explore the power of letting go, trusting the unseen, and watching everything fall into place. Ever felt stuck, no matter how hard you try? This journey might change everything. Let's dive in. You've been running on this hamster wheel for a while now. Haven't you? Hustling, planning, forcing every piece of your life to fit together like a puzzle you have to solve. Maybe you're chasing love, refreshing your inbox for that one message. Or perhaps you're grinding for success, working late nights to prove your worth. But deep down, there's a whisper. Why isn't this working? Carl Jung, the master of the human psyche, gave us a clue. What you resist not only persists, but grows in size. When you try to control everything, you're not aligning with life. You're fighting it. And the universe. It doesn't bend to clenched fists. It mirrors your energy. Let's unpack why your need to control might be the very thing blocking your destiny. Carl Jung taught that the energy you radiate shapes your reality. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. If your inner self is screaming, "I'm not enough. I need to fix this," then every effort you make carries that vibe of lack. Take Sarah, a 32-year-old marketing manager who spent years chasing the perfect relationship. She'd plan every date to a T, overanalyze every text, and push for commitment only to watch each relationship crumble. Why? Because her energy wasn't saying, "I'm ready for love." It was saying, "I'm scared I'll never be enough." Carl Jung would say Sarah wasn't chasing love, she was chasing wholeness. Trying to fill a void she hadn't faced. Her constant need to control pushed away what she craved most. Here's the harsh truth when you're stuck in this cycle of chasing. If you're not just exhausting yourself, you're blocking your own path. Carl Jung called this the tug of war between the ego and the soul. The ego craves control, panicking when things don't go as planned. It's that voice checking your phone every 5 minutes, asking, "Why hasn't it happened yet?" But the soul, it whispers a deeper truth. "Everything meant for me will arrive in divine time." The ego demands proof, but the soul seeks peace. And when you let the ego run the show, you're not co-creating with the universe, you're fighting it. Carl Jung saw this internal clearly. He said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." Why terrifying? Because it means facing the parts of you you've been avoiding: the guilt, the shame, the fear. You're not enough. Let's talk about Mark, a 40-year-old entrepreneur who spent years hustling to prove his worth. Growing up, his parents made him feel small, so he chased success to feel big. He'd overwork, micromanage his team, and obsess over every detail, yet his business kept stalling. Carl Jung would point out that Mark's unconscious belief, "I'm not worthy unless I succeed," was driving his actions. His need to control wasn't bringing success, it was pushing it away. The universe wasn't ignoring him, it was mirroring his inner fragmentation. When Mark finally paused, looked inward, and faced that old wound, something shifted. He stopped forcing, and opportunities started flowing. Why? Because his energy changed. From "I need to prove myself" to "I am enough." Here's where you come in. Have you ever felt stuck because you're trying too hard? Jung's wisdom tells us that the only thing standing between you and the life you want is you, not your past. Not the universe, but your refusal to accept yourself fully. When you don't, your conscious self says, "I want more," but your unconscious says, "I'm not ready." That contradiction blocks everything you're working for. So, before you chase another goal, ask yourself, what part of me still feels unworthy? What am I really trying to prove in the next chapter? We'll explore how surrendering to the unknown can unlock the magic of synchronicity and bring what's meant for you. For now, reflect. What's one thing you're gripping too tightly? Share it in the comments below. You've been fighting to make things happen. But what if the real magic begins when you stop? Carl Jung taught us that true transformation doesn't happen in obsession. It happens in surrender. Not giving up, but giving in to something deeper, something timeless. When you let go, you're not losing control. You're reclaiming your energy from places it never belonged. This is where synchronicity, Jung's concept of meaningful coincidences, comes alive. It's the universe's way of showing you that when you stop forcing, life starts aligning in ways you couldn't have planned. But here's the catch. Surrender often leads to a void, a space of silence that feels like nothing is happening. Let's explore why this void isn't a punishment, but a sacred space where everything begins to unfold. Carl Jung describes synchronicity as events that seem random but carry deep meaning, like the universe winking at you. Imagine Emily, a 29-year-old graphic designer who'd been applying for jobs non-stop. Desperate to leave her toxic workplace, she pushed so hard networking, tweaking her portfolio, begging for opportunities that she burned out. One day, exhausted, she decided to stop. She surrendered, not out of defeat, but out of faith. A week later, she missed a bus, only to bump into an old friend at the station. That friend mentioned a job opening at a dream company Emily hadn't even applied to. She got the job. Was it a coincidence? Carl Jung would say, no, it's synchronicity. When Emily stopped forcing, she created space for the universe to work its magic. Her surrender aligned her with what was meant for her. But here's where it gets tricky after you let go. You often face the void. You wake up, and nothing seems to change. No signs, no rewards, just silence. Your phone doesn't buzz. The opportunity hasn't come. And that voice inside whispers, was this even worth it? This is the moment that breaks most people, because we've been conditioned to expect instant results. But Carl Jung called this the creative void. He said, in all chaos, there is a cosmos. In all disorder, a secret order. What looks like nothing on the outside is deep reorganization on the inside. Your soul isn't on pause. It's under construction. Old wounds are detaching. New beliefs are anchoring. And your energy is shifting to receive what you used to beg for. Let's look at David, a 35-year-old writer who'd been chasing a publishing deal for years. He'd send endless pitches, only to face rejection after rejection. One day, he decided to let go. He stopped obsessing, stopped checking his inbox every hour, and focused on writing for himself. For weeks, nothing happened, just silence. He felt stuck in this void, tempted to start chasing again. But Carl Jung would remind him, the void isn't a punishment. It's a purification. It strips away your need for control, forcing you to trust what you can't see. One morning, out of the blue, an editor reached out to David, having stumbled across an old blog post he'd written years ago. That void wasn't empty, it was where his breakthrough was forming. Here's the truth. The universe doesn't move on your timeline. It moves in energetic alignment. Before it gives you what you asked for, it checks if you've become the person who can hold it. The void is your test. Can you trust the silence? Can you feel whole without proof? Carl Jung believed that when you stop interfering, reality starts aligning on its own. What's a moment in your life where nothing led to something unexpected? Maybe a missed chance opened a new door, or a quiet pause brought clarity? Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. In the next chapter, we'll dive into how facing your shadow can unlock true manifestation, bringing you closer to what's meant for you. For now, take a breath. The void isn't the end, it's the beginning. You've been chasing your dreams, love, wealth, success, thinking they'll make you whole. But what if the real block isn't out there? But inside you, Carl Jung taught that every desire you feel isn't random. It's a signal from your unconscious, pointing to something deeper you need to heal. You don't just want a relationship to feel loved. You want to feel seen. You don't just crave money for abundance. You want to feel safe. Beneath every obsession lies a wound. And until you face it, you'll keep attracting chaos instead of clarity. This is where shadow work, one of Jung's most powerful teachings, comes in. True manifestation isn't about scripting or visualizing. It's about integrating the parts of you you've been running from. Let's dive into why facing your shadow is the key to unlocking what's truly meant for you. Carl Jung named the shadow as the repressed parts of yourself, the fear, shame, anger, or unworthiness you've buried to survive. Most people think manifestation is all about positivity. Raise your vibration. Think happy thoughts, and your dreams will come true. But Carl Jung saw deeper. He said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. If your shadow, those hidden wounds, remains unseen, it'll control what you attract. Take Rachel, a 27-year-old artist who dreamed of a loving relationship. She'd obsess over every date, but each one ended in heartbreak. Why? Because deep down, her shadow held a belief: I'm not lovable. Every time she chased love, her unconscious fear of abandonment sabotaged her. She wasn't manifesting love. She was manifesting her wound. Here's the truth. You don't attract what you obsess over. You attract what you've made peace with. If your manifestations are rooted in lack, fear, or trauma, you'll create a reality that mirrors that. Rachel kept attracting partners who triggered her abandonment wound, not because she was unlucky, but because her shadow was running the show. Jung's work, especially his process of individuation, taught us that wholeness doesn't come from ignoring your flaws, it comes from embracing them. Shadow work isn't about shame, it's about ownership. It's saying, I see you. Fear, I see you. Unworthiness, you don't have to control me anymore. When you integrate your shadow, your energy shifts. You stop manifesting from desperation and start magnetizing from wholeness. So, how do you start? Here's a simple step. Take a piece of paper and write down your biggest fear about your dream. If you're chasing love, maybe it's I'm scared I'll never be enough. If it's success, maybe it's I'm afraid I'll fail and prove I'm worthless. Now, sit with that fear. Don't run from it or bury it under affirmations. Ask it, what do you need from me? Maybe it needs you to forgive yourself for past mistakes, or to stop comparing yourself to others. This is shadow work, holding space for the parts of you you've been ashamed to look at. When Rachel did this, she realized her fear of abandonment stemmed from childhood neglect. She started journaling to heal that wound, and slowly, her energy changed. Months later, she met someone who cherished her, not because she chased harder, but because she'd made peace with herself. This isn't the glittery version of spirituality, it's the real work. Carl Jung didn't teach us to manifest from ego. He taught us to heal from the soul. What's a fear you've been avoiding that might be blocking your dreams? Maybe it's the fear of rejection, or the belief you're not enough. Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear what's coming up for you. In the next chapter, we'll explore how remembering your innate wholeness can bring everything you've been seeking without the chase. For now, reflect what's one shadow you're ready to face today. Take that first step. It might just change everything. What if everything you've been chasing, love, abondance, peace has been inside you all along? Carl Jung revealed a profound truth that flips manifestation on its head. You're not manifesting, you're remembering. All this time, you thought you were building a new life, attracting something out there. But what if the real work isn't about bringing something in, but uncovering what's always been there? Carl Jung believed that the love, success, and wholeness you crave aren't future goals. They're your original blueprint. Somewhere along the way, the noise of the world made you forget. You started chasing to prove your worth, to earn love, to matter. But Jung's genius was in showing us that you were never missing anything to begin with. Let's explore how remembering your innate wholeness can align your life without the chase. Carl Jung taught that who you truly are isn't the anxious, overthinking self you've been identifying with. That's just a mask, a survival mechanism built over years of fear and forgetfulness. Beneath that is your soul, the part of you that remembers stillness, that doesn't chase because it already is. He wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." That means peeling away the layers of guilt, perfectionism, and overthinking that hide your natural alignment. Take Michael, a 38-year-old teacher who spent years chasing career success to feel worthy. He'd take on extra projects, say yes to everything, hoping for validation, but it left him drained, and the promotions never came. One day, he stopped. He started journaling, asking, "Who am I without all this striving through that stillness?" He remembered his love for teaching, not for approval, but for the joy of it. A month later, a colleague recommended him for a leadership role he hadn't even applied for. By remembering his worth, he stopped chasing, and life met him there. This isn't about starting from scratch. It's about returning to your original frequency, the one you were born with. Carl Jung never gave us a system to fix ourselves because he knew we don't need fixing, we need revealing. The world convinced you that you're behind, broken, or late. But you're not. You're simply buried under stories that aren't yours. When you do nothing, when you stop grasping and forcing, you return to that natural state of trust, the state where your soul overrides your ego, where alignment replaces anxiety. So, how can you start remembering? Try this. Spend 5 minutes each day in stillness. Sit quietly. Close your eyes and ask, what would the truest version of me feel like? Don't force an answer. Just feel. Over time, you'll reconnect with that inner calm, the part of you that doesn't need to chase, because it already knows everything meant for me will arrive. Carl Jung's process of individuation is about becoming whole by remembering your divinity, not by earning it. You're not here to beg for the life you want. You're here to realize it's already yours once you embody it. Let's look at Lisa, a 30-year-old single mom who always felt behind in life. She'd scroll social media, comparing herself, chasing a better version of herself. But after learning Jung's teachings, she started sitting in stillness each morning, focusing on her breath, feeling her worth without needing proof. Slowly, she stopped comparing. She remembered her strength as a mom, her creativity, her joy. And then, unexpectedly, a freelance opportunity came her way, aligning perfectly with her skills. She didn't chase it, she became it. What's one thing you're ready to stop chasing today? Maybe it's the need for approval, or the pressure to be perfect. Share it in the comments. Let's release it together. In our final chapter, we'll wrap up this journey with a powerful call to surrender. showing you how to let life sing your song. For now, take a moment. You're not late. You're not broken. You're remembering. And your return to wholeness starts now. So, here we are, at the end of this transformative journey with Carl Jung's timeless wisdom. We've uncovered the illusion of control, the magic of synchronicity, the power of facing your shadow, and the truth that you're not manifesting, you're remembering. The greatest lesson Carl Jung left us isn't about chasing more, but about becoming more whole, more aligned, more you. When you stop grasping, stop forcing, and trust the unseen currents of life, something incredible happens. The universe doesn't just align it, sings your song. You don't have to chase what's meant for you. By surrendering, you become the magnet for everything you've ever dreamed of. Stillness isn't weakness, it's rebellion. In a world obsessed with more, doing nothing is the most courageous act of becoming. If even one moment in this video cracked something open inside you, don't let it slip away. This isn't just content to scroll past. This is a mirror, a reminder of who you've always been. Carl Jung said, "We meet ourselves time and again in 1,000 disguises on the path of life." Maybe this video was one of those disguises, nudging you to stop seeking and start seeing. So, let's anchor this energy together. Comment below, I surrender. I align. I become, not for likes, but to declare to your soul that you're choosing wholeness over hustle, alignment over anxiety. Hit that like button not for the algorithm, but to tell your psyche, this moment matters. I'm different now. Subscribe to Carl Jung Psyche Hub if you're ready to dive deeper into Jungian truths that rebuild you from the inside out. This isn't just a channel, it's a journey for souls, ready to remember. And if someone you love is stuck in the loop, chasing everything but themselves, I'll share this video with them. Let's spread this awakening together. You're not here to force the universe. You're here to flow with it. So, take a deep breath. Feel your wholeness, and trust everything meant for you is already on its way. Welcome home to the truest you. Let's keep this journey going. See you in the next